Hi and welcome to Academic Compliance Academy. So in this video I'm going to talk about the Hawala system. So Hawala means transfer of wire, and it has its origin from Southeast Asia and the Middle East. We have seen traces back to the Middle East where it was used as a way to transfer funds along the Silk Road. So during time it has spread and adapted to different regions in the world, and in the modern uses of it is areas in the world that are placed outside or doesn't really have a contact to the established banking system, the formal banking system. So if we look at some key characteristics of the Hawala system, well, it is, when I say it's outside of the formal, well, it's an informal money transferring system. So most of you would know payment service providers, etc. Well, they are a part of the formal money transferring system, where the Hawala system is outside. It is a trust-based network. So imagine that's a lot of people in different countries working together to establish kind of a chain of money transaction. It's kind of how remittance companies work today, just outside of the banking sector. Quite genius. So there has been some articles arguing low transaction costs. Of course, the Hawala needs some payment service for his risk taking of transferring the funds until he secures some way of back payment. But the problem where people mostly relate how the Hawala system to money laundering, terrorist financing, or anything, it is actually because of the anonymity and the privacy of it. Because basically, you're sending some money to a person, you don't really need to know who the sender is. You just need to have a code or something for the receiver. So the personal identification is kind of like not necessary in this transaction. So the best way to explain it for newcomers would be like transferring Bitcoin if it was just a code. So basically this is the old kind of like cryptocurrency. During time, it has gone a global reach, and of course, the better you are at systemizing and putting up this trust-based network, you can have then transfer money outside of the banking sector at a quite low cost, even to regions that might be prohibited. And this is where the boundaries come when regulators seem to be a bit more nervous about the use and the functionality of the Hawala system. But basically, it is a genius way to get money out to people who are outside of the banking sector, because not everyone has access. And this is a way to kind of give access, give money. We also seen it with the extent and the microloans, everything. So there's a need for money to get out to finance people outside of the financial sector. So how does this Hawala system work? Well, it works like you have a sender in one country, country A, who goes to the Hawala man or the Hawala da in country A, and then dispose an amount of cash. Of course, the Hawala will take a percentage in transfer fees. This Hawala then contacts the Hawala B in country B and asks the Hawala to pay out a certain amount of cash to the receiver. At the same time, the Hawala A gives the sender a remittance code that the sender then will have to send or call, make a transfer. It can be an email, it can be a text message, or just call to the receiver and say, okay, to identify yourself, you need to disclose this remittance code. So when the receiver goes to Hawala B, he or she will have a remittance code proving that this is the correct receiver. So this is basically the system. There might at times be an unbalance in terms of expenses between Hawala A and Hawala B, and that of course needs some occasional settlement, so the balance is quite intact. So there's of course a lot of issues when it comes to money laundering transaction or the terror financing, but that is a different video. But basically, this is a genius way, a genius system to transfer money to regions of the world that are outside of the banking sector. So That was just a short video on Hawala and the Hawala system. Stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, and let's talk much more and share knowledge.